and no interest in Set being in this game.
Yeah, straight off the bat, huge Minion Difference saying, we do not want to deal with Jeremy Flip on that champion in the top lane. Too much of a hassle.
I love seeing a Poppy ban. She's powerful, she's versatile, and getting her out of there just shows respect for a great champion. Oh, huge Minion Difference was definitely paying attention yesterday.
Yeah, getting that Kog'Maw as well right out of there. Two of the main problem champions that we saw. Let's see what NG Blossom turns to instead. The Trundle ban also comes out here.
Trundle ban, they might be looking at tanking options, and you just don't want the troll in the jungle.
We've been seeing a lot of Trundle in the ALS, as well as I've been seeing a lot of my solo queue definitely coming out. One of the stronger picks in the jungle people have been opting for.
Lux, that's an interesting one. I love Trundle in the jungle. He's one of my favorites. A Kayn as a float, that's probably looking at a Kayn jungle, which I would think he has a decent matchup against Trundle, but we would have to see.
Yes, we have seen CCO playing Kayn before. One of his comfort picks for sure. Also important to note that the Caston was banned away here from Shadow Jumper. We have seen him play that champion quite effectively several times now. So pretty smart bans all around here from both sides. You do see that Kayn locked in.
And Aphelios as a first pick by NG. That's just getting their bottom immobile carry picked first, which as an option, that's always a little bit of a challenge, picking such an immobile character early. But Aphelios, even after years of months of nerfs, is still very powerful.
Yeah, we have been seeing a lot of Aphelios so far in the first 2 weeks of the ALS. No signs of slowing down to this point. We do see Olaf being locked in. Very good in that jungle. Pretty good early on. Also scales up pretty well. Ivern. Interesting.
I don't know what the Ivern is for. Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
A little bit of a troll over, maybe.
Anami's a strong pick into an Aphelios. You're looking at someone who can capitalize on his lack of mobility and just make plays early on. And then she's a powerful team fighter, a powerful enchantress. I like it. And Olaf is such a great invader. I have to think that they're going to be looking for some more early game characters, hopefully, but
yeah, I'm really intrigued to see what jungle huge Minion Difference opts to play into this Olaf. Oh, I'm sorry, we've already seen the Kayn, so it has been counterpicked a little bit. It'll be CC will have to be pretty careful early on, as you were saying, to watch out for those invades, not fall behind early on.
Yeah, Kayn is a character that you cannot fall behind on. A Shin ban. Definitely worried about Bo's top lane here, and Shin is definitely the kind of thing you would bring in to help put pressure all over the map.
Yeah, we've also seen some effective comps so far, these Shen Galio comps, really able to bring large amounts of reinforcement, as you're saying, all over the map, whether it's to the bot lane, and really just have huge map influence.
We're seeing a lot of focus on top lane bans with this Aatrox ban. Ezreal and ADC ban, probably one of the better champions to punish this Aphelios. There's still several options out there, but I would hate to have to play against an Ezreal.
Syndra ban is the last ban coming through here. I'm intrigued to see whether or not we're going to see Bo playing Mordekaiser here. We have seen him play lots of Mordekaiser in the past, but Olaf already locked in on the enemy team, which would be a little bit obnoxious, as you would not be able to do anything about him with his Ragnarok able to come through.
Ooh. I love the Lysandra pick into a Victor. She has a lot of ways of getting up in his face, which is not where Victor wants you. And they are forcing huge minion wave to pick their top laner and be able to counterpick. So they've navigated this draft very well.
Jhin coming in here in the bot lane for the Death Gunner. Will we see the Mordekaiser pick come through?
So right now you're looking at a very strong, pokey, long-range team. I don't know if Mordekaiser is exactly who they want, but I think he would be a powerful choice either way.
Sion.
Ooh. I don't know the last time I played against or saw a Sion in a game, so this is a fun choice. I like this.
Yeah, also, as you were saying with that Lissandra pick, definitely lots of heavy engage comp, especially rounding out that well with this lead hover, if that is indeed locked in. You would assume it would be. No. Gangplank. Interesting choice here at the last second to switch that out. But still lots of heavy engage on the side of NG Blossom. As you're saying, champions like Victor and Jhin really don't want people on top of them. So I agree. Well executed draft here. Looks like they definitely had a plan coming into this. If they weren't able to play that Juggernaut comp, and looks pretty strong as of right now.
So you're going to be able to see a fair bit of roaming from this NG team. Lissandra able to get into lanes and execute strong ganks on her own. Gangplank obviously just a global map pressure. So I would expect to see them playing a very dynamic game here. I think we're going to see huge Minion Difference want to spend some time farming, put a lot of power in their Jhin and their Victor, and just try and have as long of a laning phase as they can.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of scaling on the side of huge main difference with the Kayn, with Sion able to get incredibly tanky. Scaling on the side of NG Blossom is also pretty prevalent, though. We do see the Aphelios very strong as the game moves towards the later states. Gangplank as well, one of those champions that once he gets a couple items under his belt, able to put out an extreme amount of damage. Heading into the late game team fighting comps, as we were talking about before though, I almost have to side here with NG Blossom, as they do have that super aggressive dive comp into huge Minion Difference here.
I mean, they have this disengage with Nami, or an engage if she can get it, and obviously Sion is just going to be in there wrecking people's days. Kayn is probably going to be best served just getting on Aphelios. He's really the squishiest person on this team. Everyone else for NG Blossom is kind of harder to kill. So I think it's going to be a game of kill Aphelios and then take out the rest of the team, or watch huge Minion Difference collapse just under the attack.
I do agree. It will be imperative, especially towards the later states, to get Aphelios out of these fights for huge Minion Difference. The problem is for them is that if Kayn dives backline, there's so much engage coming through on the side of NG Blossom that there might not be enough peel for Victor and Jhin, especially with, as you said, the Nami does have some disengage, but Olaf's going to be able to completely ignore that. Lots of hard CC coming through with Nautilus Ultimate as well. So we'll be challenging navigating team fights on the side of huge Minion Difference, but definitely doable.
Yeah, the longer I think this game goes, the more it will be in huge Minion Difference's favor, but I don't know how long that this game will go, because that's an aggressive team.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely gonna, if you get caught by any extraneous Nautilus hooks between early and mid game, could set your team behind, which would make this uphill battle through the mid game even more difficult.
And I don't know how many undertows you've taken to the face, but that is a damaging spell.
And Nautilus definitely walking CC, the walking CC tank himself.
Olaf with a powerful slow, Lissandra with just tons of CC options, roots, slows, and stuns.
That's the thing, like, all the CC come flying at, you had the Lissandra flying in, Olaf flying in, Nautilus flying in. It's definitely gonna be a challenge to deal with the hard engage, but we will have to see how they handle it on the Rift. Just to remind everybody, NG Blossom is our only undefeated team remaining at 3-0. And Huge Minion Difference is right behind them in the seedings, ranked at number 2, tied for second seed with a 2-1 record. So definitely two strong teams here, looking to improve on their already pretty solid records.
I think the most important thing to notice going into this game, you're going to have an Olaf wearing the only acceptable Olaf skin.
Broloff, naturally.
The only question is which chroma he has on.
I forgot about the chromas, honestly.
If you play a lot of Olaf, you have to have all the chromas.
I'm more of the casual Olaf, no chroma Broloff skin player. That's me. Survey says, oh, no chroma.
Ooh.
Oof. No, just kidding. All right. Do we have time for predictions here? What team do you have taking this down?
I've got to go with NG Blossom, probably somewhere around the 27-minute mark.
Since we do see an invade here, I will quickly give my prediction as well. I also will have to be in favor of the NG Blossom victory here. Nautilus Hook, blind into that tri-bush, will not find anybody. But
fortunately, they had that ward there to let them know just how much was coming. They are going deep, though.
Yeah, good job rolling out by Huge Minion Difference to protect their jungle, get the information they need.
Oh!
Nice hook coming from XDME. Lands onto SJ capping, but nothing's going to come out of it.
Not really any deep vision. SJ capping for holding the flash there. I know I would have just hit that flash out of instinct.
Yeah, remaining cool and collected there, not getting up any advantage. She doesn't have to. They did actually manage to get that deep ward onto the red buff in HMD's jungle, so they will see some information here, as we do see Kane starting enemy Raptors.
Yeah, having both start the red buff for him, and then apparently just staying for the red buff.
Yeah, this is a cheeky little thing Scions can do. They will end up dying level 1 to the red buff, but with the passive, able to take it down and then teleport back to top lane with red buff.
Well, Olaf is having none of it. We see Expirated going straight for his enemy's red buff.
Yeah, wise on that, not seeing Kane on it, knowing that something fishy's going on. So we will be seeing vertical jungling here for the time being.
And knowing that their jungler is close by, our NG bottom lane is able to push up very hard and very safely.
We do see CCO now coming into the side of the jungle. Now seeing that his red buff has been taken, wasn't quite sure about the situation here.
So he's going to be a buff down, which is already a very rough spot for a Kane.
Actually, he will be buffed down. You are correct. Because Bo was the one who took the other buff, but exasperated with 2 buffs to his name. Bot lane,
CC landing
on the capping. Oh!
Trading First Bloods.
So that was CCO going down there. I did not see them in a skirmish. What was that first blood? First blood was going over to Olaf? Correct.
Yes. And then he just died to the last tower shot.
Bo now on the top side being forced under turret, getting some early pressure here from Jeremy Flip on this gangplank. Despite the red buff. Although I'm not seeing the red buff on him. They may have changed that.
No, you lose it when you die.
Interesting. Either way, the strat still does deny the buff from the enemy jungler.
Oh, and we just had a disconnect from Bo.
A little bit of connection issues here. Hopefully, won't be too much of a delay as he will try to reconnect to the game. Already just shy of 1,000 gold lead picked up here for NG Blossom. Take a look at the CS numbers across the board. Top lane, already pretty good CS advantage for Jeremy Flip.
Which you have to expect when, you miss your first wave or two to take that red buff. That's still about a little more than a cannon minion at level 1, so...
Yeah, as you're saying, that bot pressure that was created by knowing that CCO was not on the bot side of the map. Also, looks like given the bot lane for NG Blossom, pretty significant CS advantage. Already up about 11. So, on top of the first blood bonus gold, managed to mount themselves a little early lead here. Exasperate taking the other side Scuttle, so Scuttles will be traded at 1-for-1 here.
We have a good skirmish on bottom lane.
SJ capping and dropped pretty low. Ignite was popped, but will be perfectly fine as the return damage is coming through from the Death Gunner. CCO now hovering this bot side. Lots of members from NG Blossom, though, here. They are unaware of this. This could be very devastating. Hook lands on the CCO. Still going aggressive. Now being made aware of the fact the reinforcements are here. Teleport is coming through from Shadow Jumper.
So full of life, though. He's almost half health after a long, contracted fight. Everyone on Huge Minion Difference is low. Oh, and there goes the Jhin.
Yeah, really great job from NG Blossom here for having the superior rotation on this play and being aware of what was going down. And picks up a kill for it.
Also of note, what's quietly happening this entire game is this gangplank is just beating up on Sion. Jeremy Flip is destroying Bo on top lane and just trade after trade.
Meanwhile, dive bot lane will end up in a 1-for-1 trade.
They should be able to grab a plate off of that.
And maybe this drag.
The Death Hunter managed to get back in time to pressure off the plate rush.
Exasperate, start on this Infernal Drake. Should have no problems taking that down. But yeah, as you're saying, huge advantage for NG Blossom in the top lane. Pretty much doubling the CS of Bo. Could prove extremely problematic moving in here to the later stages of this game.
Early vision is still pretty decent. They have NG has a very deep pink ward in the Huge Minion Difference jungle. And while there's a couple of control wards out for Huge Minion Difference, NG is definitely the one being aggressive with it.
Oh, bot side, SJ capping, getting caught out from the gank from Exasperate, will be going down. Will Death Gunner be next? Exasperate taking a turret shot will actually fall in return, but it will be a 2-for-1 in favor of NG Blossom.
You love to see that deep commit, so that has to be worth it.
You think it's possible they may have been able to take down the Death Gunner without Exasperate fully committing there, but decided to go for it.
The real cost here is CCO managed to steal the red buff while that was all happening.
Yeah, so second buff Second red buff denied here from Exasperated.
And we have a lot of people converging on top.
Yeah, Black Oreo Cookies eating over the wall there to get the death sentence essentially onto Bo. Another kill going over to the side of NG. Now up 2,500 about. Gold lead slowly ticking upwards here for them. And they've really been the more proactive team so far. Exasperated's done a good job. Essentially went straight from bot side on that gank to catching out an aggressive play from Bo in the right place at the right time.
And this is exactly what you have to do with this team comp. You have the early fighting abilities. They're pressuring objectives. We have Exasperated picking up a very early Herald. I don't think he really cares that he lost his buff.
I think he'll take Herald. I think he's okay with that trade-off there.
And if you notice, the huge minions tower on bot lane only has 2 plates left.
2 plates left, and at CS advantage, 4 cat in there has gone up a little bit more as well. Definitely winning the side lanes here quite heavily. Also interesting to note that NG Blossom has five control wards down right now. It's lining the river, and then that deep one you pointed out earlier behind the red buff of huge minion difference. Doing a good job of keeping some vision.
I imagine that ward will stay there for a long time. That's a bush that hardly ever gets checked, but it always lets you know where the jungler is.
We do see a lane gank potentially coming in here from CCO. He has snuck in here. Actually, I think he was spotted out by the ward. There's a ward there.
And Exasperated has joined, and so has Black Oreo Cookies. They're ready for a fight.
Yeah, Ragnarok is popped, and really no defense to be had for the side of huge minion differences. They're just caught with their pants down, essentially.
A 3-for-0 trade, and now they're going to take the tower with that Shelly.
It's really good rotations here on the side of NG Blossom. As you were saying, as we saw that they spotted them out on that ward in the bot bush, and they were ready with 4 members to counteract that. So really doing a solid job here all around. Exasperated, being in the right positions and calling for support where he needs.
An excellent just solo kill by Jeremy Flip. One thing that I'll note from that previous fight, something that should show where the team fight differences are. Cat walked away almost full health. Even though he had CCO's ult on him, almost all the other damage was on his support, which is exactly where you want it to go.
There's also another kill picked up here in the mid lane by Shadow Jumper. Exasperating a little bit too far forward, a little bit too cocky, and was punished for it.
Bo is now without teleport, while Jeremy Flip has his for this upcoming dragon fight. I think that's going to make a massive difference on the second dragon.
Yeah, both teams doing a good job of keeping vision around this objective for the time being. Huge Minion Difference did a great job of went up their own side of the jungle, trying to keep Exasperated out, trying to keep them safe in their own side of the map. Especially as this objective is looming over their heads. Mid lane getting pushed in though by NG. Will have priority over the Dragon Pit as we do see Exasperated clearing a little bit of vision.
And SJ is Ko is caught out.
Oh, Lissandra ult being popped down onto CCO, and he will pop very quickly. Shadow Jumper now on the run. The hook will land from XDME as the flash is forced over the wall. Another flash following up, trying to chase him down, but he's probably going to walk right out. Meanwhile, Catinator picking up 2 kills. Oh my goodness.
Just solo 2 kills. And that is a Cloud Drake.
Surely no way HMD is going to be able to contest this at this point. And this all happened despite that, good vision that huge main difference had set up on their own side of the jungle.
They got divided and they came in apart from each other, and I think that's what's going to cost them.
Yeah, Cadenator 4 kills now on the Cephalios, as well as CSing pretty effectively. Going to be getting to those late game damage spikes much sooner than HMD would want. Exasperated also 1v1ing CCO in the jungle. SJ Capping is here, potentially provide some assistance. Stun will land from the Death Gunner. Can he find the snipe? Does find it. Olaf is dropped. Bo now looking very low as well. For the return kill coming through. It will be a 2-for-1.
That was a deep jungle fight. If you notice, though, Jeremy Flip just single-mindedly still pushing the top. And we had a DQ disconnect, but Jeremy Flip has completed Trinity Force and has just been focusing down. He's 35 CS above, 2 kills over his 4-death opponent.
Yeah.
He's just focusing his lane down and executing it perfectly.
Yeah, both side lanes heavily in the favor of NG Blossom throughout most of this game. 6 kills now after that onto Catenator's Cephalios. You look at the jungle CS difference, you say, all right, CCO's got a little bit of a lead, but might not mean too much, especially considering four kills on the side of Exasperate, which pretty much evens that out.
4 kills and 7 assists is a lot. So there's no doubt where this 10k gold difference is coming from.
For sure. The only lane you could say has been pretty even this game is the mid laners, but the difference is that NG Blossom done a great job of using this Lissandra and rotating her around the map to be where she needs to be, especially in these bot lane plays.
Black Oreo Cookies has been literally everywhere on this map and still maintaining equal CS.
Death Gunner trying to pick off the blue buff, and I believe manages to.
He was walking around with a blue aura, but Jeremy Flip also has one, so...
CCO now trying to make something happen for his team. Eyeing Black Oreo Cookies, but 2 levels down decides it's not worth.
Oh, and we have traded ults.
My goodness, some massive damage coming out from Catenator onto SJ Capping. Shadow Jumper now also being very low, will be taken down. HMD now on the run, trying to hide under their turrets, but it is not going to be fast enough. Exasperated picking up the double kill.
And we saw, I want to say, 4 ults in that fight. So there were some resources, but they're walking away with a tower and a couple of kills.
Yeah, and this Herald's still on the table. It feels like it's later into the game than it actually is, but we are only at 15 minutes into this one. And you definitely expect to see them pick up this second Herald. Use that to their advantage and try to crack open the base. Huge minion difference. Hook lands onto the Death Gunner under the turret. 3 members here will be taken down. Catenator, godlike, trying to put some damage back onto Bo, pick up another kill, but it will end up being just a 1-for-1 as XDME is taken down.
And while all this is going on...
Oh, nice knockups.
Oh.
Jeremy Flip taken very low. Fun flash over the wall will be perfectly fine. Catenator trying to kite out CCO, manages to do it, and takes down the undying fighter.
For such an immobile champ, having a completed Sheen item in Renowin's Hurricane and boots has made Catenator so much faster.
Catenator has put on 2 extremely impressive performances in these first 2 games. The 2 games this week, rather. Absolutely massive on the Kog'Maw yesterday, and taking absolutely no breaks coming to this one. 9-0-6 on the Cephalios.
I think the obvious thing for everyone here is we all need Catenator to start carrying us through some solo queues.
Have him be our duo ADC. Could pick up some LP like that. Could pick up some LP. Third dragon is going to be spawning in here in about 30 seconds. 14,000 gold lead for NG Blossom. There's no way that HMD needs to contest this right now.
And they're able to apply extra pressure if they want to, just by putting out a Shelly in a lane that they would have to deal with. So this dragon fight isn't even going to be a real fight.
Yeah, HMD had no business being anywhere near this objective, and CCO will be paying for it, although before dying gets a significant amount of damage down onto the members of NG. They look very low here. This could be a potentially turning fight. Curtain Call will put some damage onto XDME as he is very low, will be dropped.
He put
Meanwhile,
himself
Jeremy
in front of
on the back line, wreaking havoc. 1v3 now. A little bit too aggressive as he will also be taken down, given the shutdown into this Jhin. This is just a very, very aggressive fight.
But Catinator comes back in and just cleans up on Bo, and it ends out not even, but not far off. And Catinator is able to go secure the Drake anyway.
Yeah, Drake will still go down to the side of NG, but if you're HMD, you're pretty happy with that. You just use cash in on multiple shutdowns, and instead of just handing over the Drake for absolutely nothing, you ended up getting something for it.
Oh, and an excellent steal.
CCO, good job there, picking up that objective. Surely we'll be falling here there.
Trading your life for that Drake mattered a lot. That was excellent.
Yeah, we'll postpone this Dragon Soul at least another 5 minutes. So all in all, definitely still in a very bad position for HMD, but could have gone worse over the past 2-3 minutes.
And we're seeing a very aggressive build on this Gangplank. We have an Essence Reaver completed. Aphelios, Catinator with an Infinity Edge, a Phantom Dancer, and a Hurricane.
At 19 minutes.
Yes. 3 large items at 19 minutes.
XDME actually taking some heavy damage here. We'll be forced to back off. HMD doing a good job of trying to find openings. But an extra challenge will be presented to them very shortly as Baron is about to spawn in 5 seconds. Herald being dropped bot here.
I mean, you need to. He didn't have that much left on that timer. And that Shelly will push the lane.
TP will be available on Lysandra as she is passing towards his bot side, as there are going to be playing around this Baron.
Fortunately for HMD, they have all of their teleports up.
Oh no,
and we have a fight started.
Getting caught there. Lots of damage coming through from Victor though on XDME, but the return engage does come through and they will be taken down.
And that's 3 for 1. It looks like the Death Gunner is transitioning bottom. They're not even going to contest the Baron. They're just going to stop the push.
Oh, nice engage here from Black Oreo Cookies. Should surely pick up this kill. Pretty sneaky there.
You have to imagine that Black Oreo Cookies has a lot of gold to spend. Yeah, 2k gold to spend.
We should take a minute to realize that this is over an 18,000 gold deficit. That is remarkable. That may be the biggest gold deficit. I'm almost sure that's the biggest gold deficit of the season so far.
So now that everyone has backed and bought, they have to be in a position to go ahead and close this one out.
Yeah, they picked up the Baron. Really just such a commanding lead. There's really I really don't see any way, unless there's some colossal misstep on the side of NG, that huge Minion Difference will be able to protect their base. We do see Black Oreo Cookies a little bit slow getting to the spot lane.
So we're doing the full 3 lane press. I don't like that as much. They are incredibly far ahead, so they're probably fine. But this is how you get somebody collapsed on.
You definitely need to proceed with trepidation. Do not want to throw this this Baron power play out the window.
I think you're fine just with a single lane pusher and keeping everybody else mid, and that's where they're now moving.
Oh, the hook lands onto Bo. Lots of damage coming out very quickly. SJ Capping getting away with, not quite getting away, rather. Nautilus will land on the CCO. And members just falling left and right for huge Minion Difference. As this could be the end of the game.
We have the base cracked open. We have all the lanes pushed in. This is 100% their game to lose now.
This surely should be game. Only 2 members remaining.
Now bot lane is opened up. They're destroying the turret towers. And now's the time to try and get into their pool. Come on, guys. Go for that pool.
NG Blossom taking down huge Minion Difference in 23 minutes with a 21,000 gold lead.
There were 40 kills in that game, and over 30 of them were on one side.
Absolutely dominating performance here from NG as they do proceed to a 4-0 record, as definitely the team to beat at the moment in the split. Catinator with an absolutely explosive performance here on Aphelios, 15-0-8. As I was saying, picking up without even a hesitation in his step from his game yesterday. But you can't just give all the credit to him. NG Blossom did a great job, as we were saying, of rotating their members around the map, especially to this bot lane. For counter ganks and just being in the right position to give their whole squad a really solid position and mount this massive goal lead that they were able to get.
I think between Black Oreo Cookies' presence literally all over the map, even from the very beginning, you saw a jungle difference with Expirated coming into the enemy jungle, knowing that his red buff was gone, just picking up on that Scion trick and not even blinking. Every step of the way, everyone was playing their role perfectly. I think that's probably the story of this game. They just read what huge Minion Difference was doing and just executed a perfect response to it.
Yeah, and that also kind of goes into the draft as well. Even before the game started, did a great job of drafting this heavy engaged comp to where they were going to have this window in the mid game and early game to make things happen and dive members of huge Minion Difference. And as you're saying, they did a great job of both executing the draft and executing the game on the Rift. We will be trying to get an interview here with Catinator, I believe. In just a moment. Should be joining us. And he is here, the Felios himself. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Doing good. Thanks.
That's good. I believe we talked to you yesterday, but another dominating performance from your team and from you in this bot lane. You popped off very well on Kog'Maw yesterday as well as this game. How's it feel to be 4-0 now and as the only undefeated team remaining?
It feels really good. Getting any wins, especially early in the split, makes the rest of this the season a lot easier as there's more room for error. But we don't think there's any error.
For sure, it's good to have that confident mindset. You guys drafted a very heavy engaged style team comp. with the Lysandra and the Olaf and the Nautilus. Was this something you guys planned on doing if you guys weren't allowed to play the Juggermaw comp again, or was this more reading and reacting to the comp coming out from Huge Minion Difference?
It was more reading and reacting to the comp. It's just when we saw what they picked, we realized like these were good picks, like in lane and in later stages against theirs. So we drafted.
You did look very confident on Cephalios. Is he one of your main champions, or can you really just play? We saw you play very well on the Kog'Maw as well. How deep does your champion pool go exactly?
I'll play any 80k meta that's not Callista. So
not Callista. All right, sure. Is that what was that?
Champion's too big brain for me. Like
too big brain.
Right click twice as much. So
true. Very definitely a high skill cap champion. Jeff, do you have any questions to throw in?
Yeah, absolutely. How does it feel to get a target banned Kog'Maw in your second week?
Feels pretty good. They're not banning other champions, so anything that's on me is good for my team.
So what you're saying is, moving forward, people should just ignore you and just focus all their bans elsewhere and not worry about banning you out.
I wouldn't say that's a smart idea.
True.
So you had a lot of great duels in that game and managed to pull off a solo double right around the time of a dragon fight where you took down both their bottom laners. Do you feel like you were just so far ahead you didn't need to back out of that kind of situation, or you were just ready to try your luck and see how it turned out?
No, I was scared that time. I was just trying to zone them, and then Nami walked up and her health bar disappeared. And I was like, oh, it's a 1v1 now.
Excellent. Yeah, that solo double kill was probably the point where it was obvious this game was over for me. So,
well, unless you have any other questions, I think that we'll wrap it up here. All right. Thank you so much for joining us once again, Cat and Nader. As always, hope you have a good day.
All right, thank you for having me.
For sure. All right. Well, this will conclude the fourth and final game of week 2 of the summer split. It's been a little bit of an interesting day with a couple forfeits coming through, but the 2 games that did launch, as well as the exhibition match, was quite entertaining for myself, and I hope everybody else as well.
Oh, I loved it. It was a fantastic game to have as our final. We came in with 2 teams that we knew were strong and found out just how strong one of them truly was.
Yeah, NG Blossom, coming into week number 2, definitely eyes for me were on NG Blossom, Iron Dragon, and Julia Duck. And coming out of week 2, NG Blossom is now definitely the team to beat in the league. Iron Dragon, obviously still top tier, but with a little shaky performance yesterday. Some questions probably in the minds of some people. So be interesting to see moving forward how things can continue to develop.
Yeah, that's going to be the story moving forward. They not only does Iron Dragon dominate the regular season, even in the off-season events, they were the team to talk about. Even when playing from Korea on 1,000 ping, they were still the dominant team. So maybe yesterday was a fluke. Maybe yesterday they can just put out of their mind and move forward. But I know that I will be looking forward to the next time I get to watch Iron Dragon and NG butt heads.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be definitely the game to watch for sure. Taking a look at our schedule real quick, I can probably find when that will be. Iron Dragon versus week 4. It looks like they will be playing each other, so that is definitely a date to mark down on your calendars. So it should be an explosive match. But yeah, I think that probably will do it here for us today and conclude our coverage of week 2. Thank you all for watching. Once again, I want to give a huge shout out to all the subscriptions and bits donated yesterday in the stream. Helps us a lot here, keeps us going to try to bring a great production for everybody and for the teams. But I am yours truly, Kinderspiel.
And I'm Jeff the Magic Goat.
And we are signing off here for week 2, and we will see you guys next week, Saturday.
Bye.